real stories of resiliency, reinvention, and what it actually takes to thrive when life doesn't always go according to plan. I got to be honest with y'all. When I first heard about today's guest, who you could see, he's like right over here next to me, one detail stopped me in my tracks. In fact, we work out at the Wisconsin Athletic Club together, and he did something that because I was like, dude, where have you been? And he was on a 30-day fast, and we'll talk about that. But and when I learned about his health journey, I had even some more questions. And because this isn't just about a wellness story, everybody, this is a story about faith tested in the fire, a body that betrayed him, and a mind that refused to quit. Exactly the episode that I want all of my listeners to listen to today. My guest today is Isam Qudeimat, a real estate. He'll probably correct me because I said it about 18 times before.
Close enough.
It's close enough.
Close
Thank
enough.
you.
Yeah.
He's a real estate investor and a property manager expert. He's a husband. He's a father. He's an immigrant who built a life across continents, and a man who spent the last few years relearning how to walk, how to believe, and how to trust something bigger than himself. Isam was born in Jordan. He lived across the Middle East and Spain, and he has called the U.S. home for about 44 years now. He got a mechanical engineering degree and a master's in engineering management, and so this is a man I call of logic, of systems, of data, and yet his story today is about something that can't be measured on a spreadsheet. It's faith. In late 2023, Isam was diagnosed with the chronic neuromuscular disease called CIDP. And for a period of time, we'll talk a little bit more about that today, he was semi-paralyzed. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that 30-day fast. We're going to talk about how a man who values logic and engineering found himself leaning entirely on his faith and on himself to come back. Isam, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
It's a pleasure to be here.
I appreciate it. He made how far of a drive was it?
Oh, not too bad. 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
I just found out he used to work not too far from here too, right?
Yeah.
In Kohler, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So Isam, before we get into the heart of this conversation, I want the listeners to know who you are professionally. Give us kind of like the quick version, your journey into real estate, investing in property management. Like what drew you to that world, if you can kind of tell our listeners.
Well, it's kind of, it wasn't planned at all. I was working as an engineer with Kohler Company in Kohler, Wisconsin. And Kohler, at one point of time, they made me the offer to become the sales manager for their operations in the Middle East.
Okay. Oh, wow.
And that entailed having me relocating to Dubai, and actually had an office in Dubai, and I traveled back and forth so many times. But after traveling for some time, after experiencing Dubai itself, and my wife is also a professional here in Milwaukee. The question started to kind of hit me after a while. Do I want to uproot my family and move far away? We are here in Milwaukee. We were comfortable. We had friends and everything. So that kind of played a major factor.
Okay.
And I told myself, well, maybe I would just not move forward with the move to Dubai, if you will.
Yeah.
And maybe take some time off and figure out my next move.
I love that.
And that was back in 2006.
Okay.
And that's how I started to think about real estate and buying properties. And basically, I started with one building, and then on to the second, the third, and so forth. And that basically became my bread and butter, my full-time job.
When you say buildings, how big were these buildings? Can you
It's mostly, I own mostly duplexes, single families.
Okay.
The biggest I have is an 8-family building.
Oh, wow.
So nothing really elaborate, but it's a small business. I own it, I manage it, I enjoy it. tremendously.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. Over the years, what's the accomplishment in your business like you are most proud of? Not like the biggest deal, but like one thing that meant the most to you personally. I'm kind of curious. We never have sirens here, you guys. Never. And I'm sure you could probably hear that in the background,
Yeah,
which is
that's
really weird.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah.
a small town. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. That's a good question. I
Thank
never
you.
thought about
I think
that.
that's what I'm pretty good at giving good questions.
Um.
What are you most proud of? Biggest, and it doesn't have to be the biggest deal. Something that really meant the most for me personally.
Actually, I really enjoyed engineering. I enjoyed uh, product design.
Oh,
To start with something from basically you know a blank piece of paper with nothing,
yeah, yeah,
and start designing and drawing
yeah.
and testing and making prototypes, and then having this final product that's going to be sold on the market and used by people, by companies, and so forth. To see that physical product on the market, that is to me was the most satisfying, I would say,
Yeah,
overall.
because you
Yeah,
start from like
yeah,
nothing and then you get to see
pretty
the
much. Yeah,
final product.
yeah.
So you built your career on logic systems.
What's going on?
I don't know. It's coming around. Hi, this is why you guys subscribe to the live. You never hear that. All right. So you've built a career on logic systems and you talked about engineering precision. How would the old Isam, the engineer, the investor, have described himself before everything changed for you?
Could you repeat that again?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you built a career on logic,
Yes.
systems, engineer precision.
Yeah.
So when you first started, right? I call that the old Isam, right?
Yeah.
The engineer, the investor, and
Yeah.
now you're
Yeah.
kind of like you decided not to move to Dubai because you took your family as a as an important factor. Or have you describe himself before everything else changed for you? Was it the family? Was it like what was it like you made that transition, you're going to Kohler, you started with a blank sheet of paper, you made all of this, and then what, like now you're like,
It's
yeah, like what happened?
it's mostly, I think it boils down to the family is the most important thing. Work is work. It
Mm,
doesn't matter what kind of work you do. At the end of the day, it's secondary. I think the family is by far is the most important part. So when you are alone and it's different, then you can. I think it's there's more flexibility and you can do things the way you want to do it. But if you
yeah.
have a family, that becomes different because I have to think about my spouse. I have to think about my daughter, and the quality of life and everything else that goes with that.
Along with it, yeah,
Yeah,
no, that's brilliant, and I
yeah,
appreciate you sharing that.
yeah,
So I mean, a lot of people, and I even have right, with my coaching business, I work with men that are CEOs of their home, but then they neglect their family, and it's interesting
yeah,
because you've kind of built the foundation with your family, and you're still present with them, and I think that's a beautiful thing. So,
yeah,
I want to talk about, and you might have to explain to me and maybe the audience here the diagnosis of the CIDP, which is a semi-paralysis. The last time that I had a paralysis was I'll never forget this. I had what was called Bell's palsy. And I don't, do you know what that is?
no,
So
I do
Bell's
not.
palsy is basically if you're around, this is what the doctor described for me. And this was my senior year of high school. And I ran cross country. I was like a buck 60. It was tiny. It was like, anyway, I ran cross country. But apparently, if you have a fan directly into your face, it like hits a membrane and paralyzes it. So my whole side of my face was paralyzed. And I would run when I was running cross country. It'd just be like drool. I just would
Yeah,
drool. I couldn't
yeah.
feel. I couldn't feel anything. Anyway, I had senior pictures, and anyway, long story short, it got better. They gave me medicine, but I'm very mindful of that now. But tell us a little bit about like let's go there. Like late 2023, kind of take us back to the moment where you first knew something was wrong with your body, and maybe tell us what is CIDP.
CI. I always confuse it. Is it CIDP or CIPD? Something like this. So it's basically stands for chronic inflammatory chronic inflammatory uh, polyneuropathy
Okay.
delamination.
Oh, so okay, so the P before the D. I
Right.
got you. Okay.
So, in a nutshell, what it is, the immune system decides to destroy the sheathing of the nerves.
Oh,
Basically, thinking of maybe it's a like the immune system thinks it's a foreign
a foreign
object
entity.
or,
Yeah,
or a
yeah, yeah.
virus,
Okay.
and it starts always with the and like the end of the nerves, like in the tip of the hands and the toes. Um, in August of or September of 2023, I had a trip planned to go backpacking in the Pacific Northwest in Washington
Okay.
State.
Okay.
Uh, to be exact, September 6, 2023. And before that, months before that, 6, 7 months, I was at the gym every day at the work.
Yeah.
And I would do treadmill, I would do stairmaster, I would do weightlifting. I was just trying to get ready
Hmm.
for the trip.
Yeah.
Um, and I must have been doing about 5 to 6 times a week, I would say.
Okay.
Then in trying to remember the dates here, I think August 18,
Hmm.
which probably was a Thursday. I woke up in the morning and I had some tingling and numbness feeling in the tip of my fingers and
Wow.
toes.
Wow.
I told my wife, who is in the healthcare business, she said, well, maybe it's just from working out too much.
Hmm. Hmm.
Maybe just slow down a little bit,
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what happens. And next morning, I wake up and now that tingling and numbness spread throughout my whole hands and
Oh,
the bottom of my
wow.
feet. Uh, Long story short, the fourth day, Thursday it started, Sunday, I collapsed on the floor. Actually, I woke up Sunday morning. I felt very weak because now it spread all the way to my knees almost, and I
Oh
could
my
feel it in my
goodness.
calves,
Wow.
and my knees started to get weak. If there's no communications through the nerves,
Sure.
muscles will not work.
Wow.
So my knee would buckle every time I walk. So I woke up very weak. So I had a cane there. I took it and I was using it. And I told my wife, there's something seriously wrong. I think we should go to the emergency room. And she said, well, let's just give it a day, see what happens. Well, by Sunday evening, I was in the kitchen. Uh, I was doing maybe preparing a sandwich or something
Hmm.
like
Hmm.
this,
Hmm.
and I left my cane on the counter, and I stepped away from the counter. And as soon as I did that, both my knees buckled and collapsed on the floor,
Oh my
basically.
goodness.
So they took me to the hospital, and they ran tons of tests and everything, and that's how they determined it was um, CI, uh, CIPD.
Yeah.
Um,
I got some follow-ups with that. Um, did the doctors tell you how that happens? Like, do you know what I
they
mean?
misdiagnosed it first time around. It took a while.
So you
Uh,
went in when you felt the tingling, then they misdiagnosed it?
well, there is the this disease is a chronic, so it has
Oh,
50% chance to come back in 5 years. Now it's year 3 for me. Okay,
oh wow.
yeah. So it's a 1 out of 2 that it could come back again.
So they diagnosed this. Wow. So I got so many other questions and now I'm
Yeah.
off my script already. Um, so they diagnosed this. So
I can
what?
let me I'll walk you through it.
Yeah, yeah. Please,
Okay,
please.
so
Yep, yep.
there is a disease called Guillain-Barré. Guillain-Barré is a French physician who discovered the disease some time ago. I don't know, 100 years ago, something like this.
Yeah.
And so they named the disease after him, basically. And Guillain-Barré, basically what it is, it's a one-time thing. The immune system attack the nerves. Okay, you treat the illness, and then it doesn't come back. It goes away, you
Okay.
recover, and you're fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep.
So they thought that's what I had.
Oh, I
Okay.
got you. Okay. Okay.
Now, so they gave me what they call an antibody infusion. Basically, antibody is basically attaches itself to my own antibody to prevent my antibody from attacking my nerves.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I recovered fairly well. It took some time to recover, um, because by the time I got to the hospital, the numbness spread all the way to my thighs, my almost my chest, which would have been very dangerous. Actually, I could not even eat solid food. I have to eat soft food because I could not chew. I could not
Wow.
control my
Yeah.
muscles
Yeah.
because it also spread around my mouth, my eyes, and everything. Um, So when it came back, they did further testing, and that's how they found out it was the CIPD,
Yeah.
not Guillain-Barré.
Okay.
And basically, I was bedridden for a long time, slowly making recovery. I had two relapses. Uh, Eventually, they prescribed a very aggressive treatment, which involved steroids and um, antibody called IVIG infusion.
Okay.
Very, very aggressive treatment. It caused the steroid alone caused about 40 pounds of weight gain uh, back in late 23, early 24. Um, I wasn't able to drive. I wasn't even able to roll in bed. If I wanted to go on one side or on the other side, I could not do that. They have to come to the nurses will help me to roll on my side or whatever. Uh, so
Wow.
it was almost a surreal thing.
Yeah.
Like a nightmare or a dream. I mean, what happened? And it's a very rare disease, and it happens. I think one out of 300,000.
Oh my gosh.
So it's almost like hitting the jackpot there.
Yeah. Just in the wrong
Yeah,
direction.
yeah.
So walk, you explained it, I think, pretty well, Isam, is I mean, you said you were bedridden for months. You're before this, you're looking at a piece of paper and you're making these great inventions, so to speak, out of something, and now you're bedridden. Can you maybe describe to the listeners, like, what did that feel like for you? Where was your head at? Can you kind of go in a little bit on that?
Yeah, yeah. Um, when you experience something like this, you don't really realize how serious it is. Um, and I remember when I was in the emergency room, uh, a neuromuscular physician came down to see me, and he was talking to me, and I told him I have a hiking trip, backpacking trip in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Would I be able would I be able to make it? And he said, "Well, let's just take it easy for now, you know."
Hmm.
And uh, I think he knew how serious the disease was, but he tried, I guess, to tell me in a different way. I
Yeah.
mean, it took me much longer than 2 weeks to recover, almost a year and few months
A
probably.
year and a few months.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember to see. Um, let's see. I started to drive. I was diagnosed, or I got into the hospital in late August, and I was on wheelchair, then a walker. And when I was on the walker, I I felt fairly okay. I drove for the first time in
Mm.
late November, early December of 23. I just have to get out of the house at the time,
Yeah.
you know,
Gosh,
and
and you
I
bet.
just took a short drive, just like the
Yeah.
supermarket, just buy a couple of things, 3, 4 miles away, and it went okay. And slowly, I transitioned from a walker to a cane,
Hmm.
and then no cane, and we're just walking normally. Um, and I remember, walking out for the first time just on the treadmill,
Hmm.
maybe half a mile or
Mm.
a quarter mile, and I'm just totally exhausted. You know,
Jeez.
it took quite a bit of efforts to kind of slowly go back to normal. You know,
What's your state of mindset during this time? Like, because I mean, this story that you're sharing is, people deal with so many other things in their life, and they think that's so bad, and you were literally bedridden, with disability. You couldn't walk, you couldn't go anywhere. Someone had to flip you. Where's your mindset going through this?
well, I continued working, believe it or not. I had my laptop in the
Oh,
hospital, and I
my
continued doing my work. Yeah,
resiliency. That's
and I
crazy.
had some help.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
wife was helping as far as doing physical things, but phone calls and computer stuff, I was actually business went on. Maybe
Yeah.
slower and
But
not
it
as
still went on.
efficient, but went
Yeah.
on. So maybe that says
Yeah.
where my mindset was. I had to. I mean, there was no choice. What else to do? You are in bed watching. I watched some shows. I watched what do you call it?
You remember them?
Was it on Netflix
What was
or
it?
Prime? It's like 500 episodes. What was it? Was it?
Why
Oh,
would you?
Suits.
Oh,
I
you watched
watched
the
the
whole
whole thing.
series.
The whole
Oh my!
thing.
How many seasons? I don't even know how
I
many
don't
seasons.
know. Maybe 10 seasons, seven,
Jeez.
8.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow. That's
forever.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
that's
I
that's an investment.
I watched the whole thing.
Let me ask you, Isam, was
Yeah.
there ever a moment when you were going through this, and I'm writing my book and I share about two near life death experiences that I'm going to be writing, and I plan to have it finished this summer, and get it published and find a publisher. But was there ever a moment where you like hit rock bottom, or you would call rock
Close,
bottom?
close,
You say close.
close. Yeah, few
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Yeah, few times. Yeah, absolutely.
Um, let's talk about your faith through this journey, because I know this is a big piece. Your faith showed up in those early months. What was it, instant, or did it take you some time to find it? You know?
No, I was raised that way. To believe um, in my faith. Which is Islam.
Yes.
Um, I believe in God. I it's to me, uh, religion aside,
Yep.
um, when I look at the universe,
Yep.
okay, the perfection of this universe, the way it's
Yeah.
everything is you see around
Sure.
us,
Sure.
uh, you cannot deny, at least from my standpoint, that there's a creator for that universe,
For sure.
and I believe in that creator, basically.
I love it. I
Yeah,
love that answer.
yeah, yeah.
All right. So this is the one that I wanted to get into. I'm excited about this one, and I appreciate it, Isam, for really being vulnerable and
Yeah.
sharing that story, because the listeners are really gonna resonate with that, and I honestly, it means a lot. All right, so this is the 30-day fast segment here. So curiosity is really kind of where I'm at, because to my listeners out there,
Mhm.
I've seen so many crazy studies of 72 hours of fasting. It's just incredible because it kills all these bad things in your body. And I have the farthest that I got was like 36 hours. And then I was like, I saw this guy at the gym and I didn't see him in a while. He was like really lean. And I was like, dude, where you been? And he's like, I was fasting for like 30. I was like, 30 days. And then I was like, was it just water and coffee? You're like, yep. And I think that's where I got mixed up, where I thought you owned a coffee shop when I asked you about. So here's the question that kind of stopped me when I first learned about this, the 30-day fast. Talk to us and to the listeners, like what led to that decision? I'm curious. Is it your faith? Is it being the fact of what you had with the paralysis of your body? Like where talk to
No,
us about it.
I've been fasting since I was became an adult, basically since the age of uh, 12 or 13. That's
Wow.
I missed few years here and there
Yeah,
because
yeah.
faith is sometimes with
Hmm.
different people is not constant.
Yep,
Sometimes goes up,
yep,
goes
yep,
down.
yep,
You believe more, you believe less,
yep, yep.
or you get distracted with uh,
Other things.
other stuff,
For sure, for sure.
But yeah, for the most part, I fasted most of my life for the month of Ramadan,
Yep, that's big.
and basically is we abstain from food or drinks from sunrise to sunset. Um, I should say from dawn to sunset
Yeah.
for 30 days. Um, and I really don't think of it as a big deal. It is. It's not about abstaining from food and drinks. It's also about a reminder um, that what really matters in life.
Wow,
You know um,
that's powerful what you said
that
right there.
there are people there who have no food and no access to food, and
Hmm.
maybe getting hungry and thirsty makes you feel what it's like for some people who don't have access to a good meal or a meal period.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's almost like letting go of what you think you need. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like with my faith, it's like letting go and surrendering to God, like letting it
pretty
go.
much,
You right?
pretty
Yeah,
much, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
like,
And also, I mean, also, it's not just abstaining from food and drinks. It's abstaining from anything that is, you know. I mean, of course, you're supposed to be nice to people all the time, but
yeah,
this, particularly during that month, you abstain from anything that is, how to say that, like. I don't want to say a foul language. We don't use
right,
foul language.
right,
Period. But
right, right, right.
uh, you know, abstaining from everything that is could be earthy, if you will,
Yeah,
and doing this purely for God.
and that's what's remarkable is being able to like do that. Okay, give. Okay, you've been doing this. You said since 12.
Since puberty, I
Okay,
mean,
that
yeah,
that's a long time, and
yeah, 11, 12, whatever. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't,
So did
I
the
don't
did,
remember exactly when.
but did the fasting, was it always during Ramadan? Was it always 30 days, or did you like build up
Well,
to it?
no, it's always been during Ramadan. It's to fast outside Ramadan. That is a personal choice.
Oh, okay, okay,
Yeah, there
okay,
are
okay,
people who fast outside Ramadan, a day
okay,
here, a day there.
okay.
Certain occasions they
Yeah,
do fasting to
yeah,
give thanks to God. They do fasting. Okay, but that is not a mandatory. That is elective, basically. Okay, Ramadan is mandatory in the religion. Okay, unless
yeah.
unless you are disabled
Okay,
or ill or traveling,
okay.
which considered it's uh, becomes fasting becomes an added burden.
I
Um,
see.
if you are an elderly or on medication or weak, you're not supposed to
Then
fast.
okay.
So there are certain rules.
And you don't go to the gym during this time either.
I did a couple of times, and it's hard.
How?
It's
Yes,
hard.
I was gonna say
It's
like,
hard. Yeah.
oh,
I mean, it your your mental alertness does go down.
that's what I was gonna ask you. Like,
Your productivity goes down. No
okay,
question about it,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you have no food, no drinks, no coffee in the morning, which is to me very important.
yeah, yeah.
So yes, things do slow down a little bit, but I still carry on. I do my daily things, my work. Actually, to me, fasting during the work weekdays is much easier than the weekends, because when you're working, time goes fast.
Oh, sure, sure, sure,
Weekend
sure,
comes,
sure.
and if you have nothing to do,
Then you're
then
like, yeah,
it's
exactly. And that's
oh my
generally, I
god,
think, where most of us get
yeah,
it is like when we're
yeah,
like sitting down
right,
finally, and then there's like, oh, that comfort
yeah,
food over there. You want some ice cream? And
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah.
get that. So I want to talk to you spiritually about that. So during those 30 days, or what's happening to you? Just talk to my audience here. Like, what's happening to you spiritually during those 30 days that you and share your faith on this. I think this is important that you really don't get to access during those other days that you don't fast. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think it becomes more profound, if you will, during the month of Ramadan.
Okay.
Um, but I always have that connection with God.
Okay.
Uh, that He is watching over us.
Yep. Yep.
The way I think about it, I believe, uh, and we are obligated to do good deeds, uh, be courteous to others, to
Yep.
our neighbors,
Yep. Yep.
to help others, uh, to give charity and feed the poor. Um,
Do
so,
you do
but
any?
during the month of Ramadan, that becomes even more important.
Okay.
So it gets amplified, if you will. So we don't just do it during the month of Ramadan. We do it outside Ramadan, but in Ramadan itself, it becomes more profound, more
Okay.
important.
I got you. Would you? Let me ask you this: what would you say to someone listening who's maybe? I mean, because I briefly talked about this, but there are so many benefits around fasting, like so many benefits, like the gurus are saying, and then on top of it you had a 30-day. But what like, gosh, like, so what would you say to someone listening who's facing maybe a health crisis that you briefly talked about, and maybe feels like fasting, prayer, or stillness sounds too extreme or too much? How do you explain that decision to people who maybe don't share maybe the same faith as you? How would you share that?
Well, first of all, I respect people of all faith and
Yeah.
religions, no
Yeah.
question about it. What I believe in might be different what others believe in. I think what's important is to respect other people's viewpoint, other
Mhm.
people's religions and beliefs.
Mhm.
Uh, and I think if you look at most religions out there, um, you'll find that most of them call for peace, for respect, for being neighborly.
Yeah.
The practices may be different, and they are different in different religions, but many of them have some common core values.
There's a similar. Agreed. Agreed. And you.
Many, for example, in the Christianity, they have the Ten Commandments. Many of those, or most of them, or all of them, maybe, are exactly mirrors what we have in Islam. And I
Uh,
think that's true to Judaism or
Absolutely.
Hindu or
Yeah.
or other faiths.
So, if you had to boil down everything you've learned, you've been on this planet for how many years?
I'm 64
Yeah, you wouldn't look at it. This guy
and few
crushes it at the gym with his buddy.
few months.
Yeah, yeah, I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. I love it. So, if you had to boil everything down with your, I like to say experience, right? You've learned through your experience in life into one core message, just one core message. What would it be?
One core message.
Mm-hmm. You've been through some stuff, man.
I would say believe in God and don't give up.
I love it. Simple, to the point, very, very direct too. So you talked about faith and believing in yourself almost as two sides of the same coin. How do those two things work together for you?
Well, it definitely helped me through my episodes of the last 3 4 years with the CIPD. Um, yes, there are moments where I felt I wanted to give up or
Yeah, yeah,
uh, uh, what's the point?
yeah.
But for the most part, I didn't question why me. I never asked that question.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
awesome. You never did.
I never did.
Wow.
Yeah,
Huh.
I knew and I believe this is meant to happen.
Yeah.
And if my destiny to become permanently disabled, then that's my destiny. And if it's something temporarily, I have to go through it and become normal again. That's my destiny.
Wow.
And if it comes back again, put it this way: scientifically, statistically, it has 50% chance
Yeah.
of coming back. So if it comes back, it's gonna come back, and
And you
I just
just,
have to deal with it when it comes back.
yeah, it's insane though. Like
Yeah.
your fortitude, your the way you speak about it, Isam, is I mean, more people need to take a chapter from your book. And so through that, because I mean, that's really monumental. And I've gone through some dark moments in my life. And going through, for me, trials and tribulations lead to the throne in some context. So you going through those changes, did your relationship with faith itself, did it get stronger? Did it?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Talk to us about that. That's important. I want to hear that.
Um, well, first of all, it's always has been strong.
Right.
Okay. Uh, Second, I going through it, regardless of how much faith a person has, uh, the unknown is always scary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
What's
So
gonna
much.
happen?
Yes.
What's gonna come out of this?
Yes.
Some people with CIPD don't recover. They just stagnate, semi-disabled, or don't improve, but don't get and but they don't get worse either
Oh wow.
on certain medication. And I'm very blessed and lucky
Wow.
to recover and be able to walk again and be able to hike. That's my passion. I love hiking, backpacking, and heading to the mountains. And I last August of 25, I went to the Pacific Northwest. That same
Is
trip.
that the picture you sent for me? Is that the one?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. That
Okay.
was
Yeah.
Mount Baker Wilderness in
Okay.
Washington State.
That's
Yeah, that was one of my dream hikes actually,
really.
and that was a trip I was supposed to take in September.
Oh, and
September 6th of 23. So I went back
you
and I
still
planned it
did
and
it.
I did that trip.
Wow.
So I was really thrilled about it.
Yeah, you should be. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
So I want to ask you this because I think you can relate to so many people. Is for someone listening right now who's maybe in their own semi-paralyzed season, maybe it's physically, maybe it's emotionally, maybe it's financially, maybe it's spiritually. What's the first step you'd tell them to take?
I would say, you know, believe in yourself, make the best out of the situation, whatever it is, and find something that, besides faith, that will satisfy you, whether it is um, a hobby,
Yeah.
whatever, something, reading. Personally, when I was on a wheelchair at home, recovering, I took on food photography.
Really? So it was
So
like a little
my
hobby.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
my daughter, because I was in a wheelchair, so I couldn't really
Yeah,
move
yeah,
around
yeah,
too
yeah,
much,
yeah.
but I'm able to handle photography at home
Okay.
on a wheelchair, and my daughter would make a dish or something, and we'll have a display and take some pictures. Of course, really, it was terrible pictures,
We got to start somewhere though,
but
right?
we have to
Yeah,
start
yeah,
someplace.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I think it's um, a very difficult situation, you know, to be disabled or even semi-disabled, and you really don't appreciate it or understand it, I should say, until you are in it.
Yeah.
And to me, it's unfortunate situation to go through this, but also in a way it is an awfully good learning experience. In an
So,
upside,
yeah.
I learned how much I appreciated the nursing job, what they do to support the patient in the hospitals is incredible.
So shout out to all the nurses.
The physician will come and see you for a few
Yeah, yeah,
minutes
yeah,
and
yeah. But the
leave,
nurses are
but
there.
nurse is there, and an incredible work ethics, incredible, amazing. It's just amazing.
Yeah, they're
I really truly never thought of of the what they go through as nurses until I was in that situation, sick in bed.
shout out to all the nurses out there, by the way. So through that experience, has that changed the way you show up now as a husband, as a father, and as a business
Yeah,
owner?
no, absolutely, absolutely. Many things changed after I got sick. I have a different perspective on life. I don't While I'm working full time, I don't dwell on small issues and small problems anymore.
Huh.
I Somebody might see something as a big deal. To me, it's not. So what? It's My perspective on life has changed a lot. Um, I also learned to appreciate the people around me, my wife, my
Mm,
daughter, more uh, than ever before. Uh, and while work is important to sustain a living, but it's work.
yeah,
At the end of the day,
yeah,
it's work,
yeah,
and it
yeah.
means nothing when you go home after that. You know. So
I love that answer. So I want to go back even further. You were born in Jordan and lived across several countries in the Middle East and in
yeah.
Spain before coming to the US.
Hmm.
Can you kind of tell us like what was it like growing up across so many cultures, right? For me, I mean, I've traveled. I've been to Mexico. I've been to um, the Dominican, but not nowhere near as so many of those different how growing up with those across so many cultures. Kind of, can you kind of go back and kind of talk about that or?
Yeah, of course, yes. Well, I was born in Jordan, and lived in first 4 or 5 years, and then moved
You
to
said Paris?
no, lived in was the first few years of my life were in Jordan,
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
and then we moved to Saudi Arabia, um, and that was a major uh, change in culture. Even though the two countries are neighbors, it is a change uh, in culture between the two countries. So that was getting used to. Um, then we moved back to Jordan.
Oh, okay.
We survived the civil war in Jordan in 1970, uh, and we were forced to leave the country and lived in Kuwait.
You said you were forced to leave the country.
Yeah,
You want
yeah.
to talk a
Well,
little bit?
we're not forced. We had to leave for safety.
Understand.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, for safety. So we temporarily moved to Kuwait, um, and then after that, back to Saudi Arabia again, where I finished my high school,
Okay.
and
Wow.
then I if I remember even after that we went back to Jordan again.
Oh,
Yes, back to Jordan.
bringing back memories here. I see.
Yeah, lots
Yeah.
of yeah. How many times so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Okay. Yeah, then back to Jordan, and from there I went to Spain. I went to an American college in Spain,
Oh,
and I did some uh, freshman level courses, and I was in the process of applying to colleges in the US to
okay.
come and do my engineering. And in 82, I moved to the US.
So you're back now in the U.S. So I want to ask you this because you obviously are very cultural, and I love that about you. What what's looking like what looking back? What's something American culture that surprised you the most when you first got here? Was there anything?
I can't think of any surprises. I was somewhat familiar with the American culture. I got exposed to it in Spain.
Okay.
I got exposed to it in Saudi Arabia because my father then used to work for an American company, and there were lots of American expatriates in Saudi Arabia.
Say that again. There's a lot of what?
American expatriates.
What
When a person moves from the U.S. to work in a different country, it's called expatriate.
Oh, I did not
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
the term they use.
See, you guys, I didn't know
Um,
that. We're learning stuff.
so as a teenager and a child, I had some exposure
Yeah.
to American culture. So really, I cannot think of any
Okay.
cultural shock, if you will.
Okay.
Um,
What do you want? How many children do you have?
one
You have one, and that's
daughter,
daughter.
yes.
What do you want your daughter to understand about where you came from and what it kind of took to get to the U.S.?
Well, I mean, she's definitely an American. She was born here and
Yep.
raised here.
Yep.
She knows her roots.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
has been back
Okay. Oh, shit,
about
she has.
years ago
Okay. Okay.
um, when she was younger. She does understand the language, so I think she's an American first and foremost. That's for sure. But the fact that she was born here, she was schooled here, and everything, her friends and so forth, she's definitely an American that way. But she also knows her roots, and yes, there is some connection to those roots,
Mm,
and they probably will never go away.
got you.
Okay.
Yep.
Now, this is different for an immigrant like myself, because I came to the US when I was 19, 20.
Yeah,
So personally, I feel sometimes I have a dual identity,
for sure.
you know. Um, Even though when I go back to my home country, Jordan, uh, I it's not home anymore, you know.
Oh, sure,
You
sure.
know, and if I go back in time, when did that happen? You know, when I used to be a student, and then comes summer, I go back home to Jordan.
Okay. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I finished college and I started working as an engineer, and I would go and visit my family, my parents in Jordan, and I
Okay.
still say, "Oh, I'm going back home." Um, but then slowly, as you establish roots here, and
Sure.
life, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
and profession,
yeah, yeah.
and your apartment, your house, whatever it
Sure,
is,
sure, sure.
that starts to shift slowly.
Oh,
You
okay.
know,
Yeah,
home
yeah.
becomes here,
Yes,
Wisconsin. You
yes,
know,
and I love it.
and
You picked Wisconsin of
yeah,
all the
that's
places,
right.
of all
Yeah,
the places
yeah,
too. Like you're gonna be somewhere nicer, the weather-wise. But anyway,
yeah,
Wisconsin, we do have good seasons, but sometimes, yeah, winter gets too long. All
yeah.
right, I want to go a little bit fun here. So you're into hiking, you're into backpacking, camping, you golf, you do. So you said earlier that you started with some photography with food, but as I was looking at my notes, then it went into wildlife photography, birds and bees.
Yes.
How did you get into the photography, birds and bees specifically? Tell us about that.
Okay. In middle school, my daughter was she used to do horseback riding.
Okay.
Okay, and I would, my wife or I or both of us would go with her a lot sometimes. And I thought about getting a camera and take pictures of her while, riding horses. And I had no
Oh,
clue
you had no
about
idea what
cameras,
you're doing.
nothing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I just bought a basic camera from Best Buy,
Okay.
and with like a zoom lens,
Okay.
really nothing elaborate at all.
Yeah.
And I took some pictures. Some were good, some were bad, some were terrible, but anyways, and then the camera sat on the shelf basically, and um, then when I got into properties, and invested in real estate, um, my real estate agent, who I've been working with for almost 16, 17
Oh
years,
wow.
he
You want
would,
to give him a shout out right now?
yeah,
You want to give him a
yeah,
shout out?
Isam. His name is Isam too, by the way.
Oh really?
Yes, he's originally
Okay.
from Egypt.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So, anyways, he would send me his photographer to take professional pictures,
Oh, I see where this is going.
and I would ask questions. I asked the photographer, "What are you doing? What setting do you have? What kind
Yeah.
of camera?"
Okay.
And uh, that's how I started to get interested in photography, by
Okay.
doing real estate photography. And I
Ah.
took some online courses. I actually did some coaching with a real estate photographer from California who does multi-million dollars photography, for multi-million dollar homes photography
Oh
in
wow.
California. So I really spent an incredible amount of hours online learning photography, and buying books and watching YouTube. And so my I would say my knowledge and level of experience in real estate photography became really good. Um,
Wow.
and I
I did
don't
not
do
know
I
that.
don't do it as a job for others. I
Right.
just do
It's
it
just for
for
fun.
my own
Yeah.
properties. And
Yeah.
from that, I branched into hobbies photography, like wildlife and
Oh yeah.
landscape. Landscape to me is difficult. My older brother is a landscape photographer, and he's very creative. I'm not. Um, so uh,
But
I
it's so interesting, Isam, because it kind of started when you were in that paralysis state of like uncertainty. I want to just use my camera. I could
But
take
no, the
pictures.
photography started much earlier than
Oh, it
that.
did. It
Yeah, it
did.
did. Yeah,
It did. So
in
that
the 2010, 11, 12,
okay.
something
I
like
got you.
this. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah. In the situation when I was paralyzed or semi-paralyzed, I tried to do food photography. Okay,
I'm curious to see some of those pictures.
I won't show it to you.
He's not going to share it
I
to
would not
anybody.
show it to you. No.
Hey, so
Uh,
out of everywhere you've hiked or traveled, is there one specific place that maybe felt most spiritually significant to you? Is there any place, would you say? Because I know you love hiking.
yeah. High mountains, high country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
You
there any
feel.
good places in Wisconsin? Do you like go to like
Oh yeah,
I
there's
did
plenty.
Devil's
I mean,
Lake
there are no mountains in Wisconsin.
but Devil's Lake, I mean is that like the
No, no, no.
that's
I'm
not
sorry.
nothing?
Devil's Lake is too commercial.
It
Beautiful,
is. It is. It
beautiful,
is.
but
What do you
too
suggest? I
commercial.
want to hear what like what do you,
In Wisconsin, I hike different segments of the Ice Age Trail.
oh.
By Holly Hill.
Yeah. It's a
Uh,
beautiful place to go out and fall for those of you. I love
Gorgeous,
going out there and
beautiful
fall.
place.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
North Catamaran Unit,
Okay.
Southern Unit Catamaran,
Okay.
and also there are beautiful hikes, Ice Age Trail and trails within state parks like.
You ever been to Harrington? Right over here,
No, I
Harrington.
have not.
You need
No,
to check that out.
I
It's a
haven't.
beautiful
I should
place.
check it
It's
out.
like
Yeah,
5 minutes away from here.
yeah, yeah. So there's Yellowstone Lake State Park. Okay, so it's not Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah,
It's
it's
Yellowstone
Yellowstone Lake.
Lake State
Huh.
Park.
Okay.
It's about an hour, more like 45 minutes southwest of Madison. There is Blue Mound State Park. There is Governor's Dodge State Park, west of Madison. Mirrors Lake.
Isn't the Ice Age? Is that where the 5 waterfalls are at too? That trail isn't it called the Ice Age Trail? Right.
The Ice Age Trail is about 1,200 miles long. It runs from it's like a U shape. It runs from northeast Wisconsin
Okay.
by Door County, more or less,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
comes down by Milwaukee and south of Milwaukee
Oh.
area, and then
Oh
goes
wow.
all the way up to
I,
northwest part of the state.
I didn't even know
And
that.
it's interrupted. It's not a continuous trail,
Oh. Okay.
okay? But it's one of the national scenic trails in the US.
Okay.
So you have the Ice Age is one of them. You have, I think, the North Country Trail, which runs from the northeast and through the northern Midwest and maybe northern part of central US. And then you have the Continental Divide Trail that runs from Arizona all the way to Montana and the
Oh
Canadian
wow.
Rockies.
Wow.
And then you have the Pacific Crest Trail, which runs from the California Mexico border all the way to
Jeez. He knows all this. This is crazy.
Washington, Canada border.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I could tell
And
that's the
then
passengers.
The Appalachian Trail.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's one place, and I might be butchering it wrong, but I know there's 5 waterfalls
That I'm not familiar with.
in Wisconsin.
Where in
Yep, yep.
Wisconsin?
It's up north. It's a two. I looked this up because
It's called Five Waterfalls.
well, if you Google 5 waterfalls in
Okay, I
Wisconsin,
have to look it
it's
up.
like a 2.5, 3 hour. Because I have a Harley, and I was gonna either go with my soon-to-be wife, but I was gonna take the car. My daughter does not like
Okay.
riding my Harley, but anyway, that's a whole new different story. But I was gonna do a daddy-daughter trip this summer where we were just gonna explore those and really check them out. It's supposed to be pretty cool.
Okay.
So all right, as we wrap up today, my brand, Isam, and to the listeners out there is about more than surviving hard seasons. It's really about actually thriving in them, and you are a pinnacle on that story today. In your own words, what does thriving mean to you today compared when it meant to you before 2023?
Very different. Very different.
Yeah, tell us.
Thriving. You want before or after first?
You tell me. You go. You pick either one. Let's go before.
Thriving before was more about, I think, a materials accomplishment, work,
Mm,
um, what professional. Of course, I mean, there's always the family part and the social part and everything else and personal. But thriving was more. I don't want to sound materialistic, but there's more an element of materials in it
wow.
than after. After it became more about the health part of it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
the family, uh, and faith.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's really, uh, to me, it's almost a major turn of event, 2023, um, and there are very different definitions, to me at least,
Yeah.
of thriving before and thriving after.
That's beautiful, and I
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that. So, if Isam from 5 years ago could see who you are now, what do you think would surprise him most?
I think the persistence part of it,
Hmm.
perseverance
Mm-hmm.
to overcome
Hard stuff.
hard stuff.
Yeah, that's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah.
What's next for you, personally, spiritually, professionally? What does the next chapter look like?
Next chapter, I'm 64. Um, I have my own business. I have no plans to retire because I think I would be bored if I retire.
I always say, not to interrupt you,
Yeah,
retirement is for tired people. Like, go. God has given you the ability. Go, go, go. Because you know what usually happens when people retire? They go back to work doing something they don't
right.
like. But finish what you're gonna say.
So my plan is to continue working, but definitely making time, and I am making time right now for me and for the family.
Mm.
Uh, um, of course, that's a good example is the gym. I made that commitment every day to be at the
Yeah.
gym, and
Him and
unless
his
I have,
buddy, the constable.
yeah,
I call your buddy the constable. He knows everybody in the gym.
yeah,
Uh,
unless I have an emergency for work,
yeah,
I block
yeah.
my morning for the gym,
I love it.
and
I love it.
it's a great place to meet people. I met you there,
Yeah, yeah.
and met other wonderful people. Um, I think I would want to do more hiking and more camping,
Yeah.
more photography.
Just no more
Uh,
food, right?
yeah, yeah,
All right. Final question for you
yeah.
today. If someone walks away from this episode remembering only one thing you said today, what would it be? Tell them.
If misfortune hits you, don't give up. Persist, persist, persist. I think that
Yeah,
would be the
yeah.
one thing I would say. And have faith.
Absolutely. I was going
And
to
have
say your
faith.
faith has a
Yeah,
lot to do with that entire journey, my
yeah.
friend. Isam, it's been a privilege. It's been an honor, and
Thank
you're
you so
honest.
much.
Yeah, you're
Thank you
welcome.
for having me on
Yeah,
your podcast, on your show.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to share any way that people can get a hold of you? Are you a private guy? Like, where are you at?
I'm mostly a private guy, but if somebody has a question, I don't know what's the mechanism of
I
having
can, if you have an email, or I can put it in the show notes, whatever you prefer.
an email is fine.
Okay.
I
I
can
will
get
have
back
it
to
in the
you.
show notes, you guys. So
Yeah.
if you want to get a hold of him, Isam, you can in the show notes. I'll leave the email in there. So again, your story is clearly, it's not easy to talk about, and that's exactly what my brand Live to Thrive is really all about. It's not the polished version. But it's the real authentic one. And I hope this, for anyone that's listening out there, whatever you're going through, wherever it is, whatever walkthrough you're going through, whether it's I call it training seasons. We all have different training seasons. Isam shared his with you today. I am writing about mine, and I've also shared that on these other episodes. You can check that in my library. But thank you all for listening. Please subscribe. Send the 5 of your friends that really would love this story and love to hear more about Isam. And until next time, Isam, we do this all the time. This is my exit out. 1% better in mind, body, and soul. I didn't tell them. Always stay flex. Get them up, Isam. Flex them up. Yay!